Down to the bottom left side of the map, our red Terran player, as we enter this best of 3, is gonna be ByuN. Feels like it's been ages since we saw ByuN because we casted him. He was in the first section of the bracket of the round of 16 section we casted. And he just kind of won. He won again. And then we've just not seen him for like 2 or 3 days. So we kind of forgot he was in the tournament. It's been a little while. So he's been winning the winners bracket semifinals to take on Zest here in the WardiTV Winter Championship. Thank you, Ollie TL, for the 1-year resub as we kick this one off. And we get this underway. It's the first game of the best of 3, and we're just going to be seeing this probe of Zest go now down to the bottom side. So scouting to begin the game. And heading all the way out down to the south here. As ByuN, what's he going to bring us in the TvP? We were talking about ByuN's TvP a bit the other day, and you know, stuff like engineering bay blocks is something he started to do again, something he popularized, and now he's starting to do once more. Also kind of these like heavy bio opens, right? Multiple racks early in the game, that kind of thing has been something that ByuN's been a pretty big fan of in general here. So yeah, expecting to see a chunk of that, as we do see this probe going to come around the back, and SCV going to go and nibble on that probe, pick away at it a little bit. And best of 3 series to see who gets to the winner bracket finals. Top 3 guaranteed, of course. We'll talk about prize money here a little bit. We don't mention prize money a lot this event. It starts to, you know, rack up a little bit right now. You win this series, you get $300 guaranteed. If you can win that, get top 2 guaranteed, it's $400. And if you win that, if you win the finals, $800 is the first place prize. So 800, 400, 300, and I believe 200 for top 4. So, yeah, I guess these guys have $150 guaranteed right now as guaranteed top 6 in the tournament. So yeah, like I say, it obviously stacks up mostly going out to the winner, but does stack up a little bit as we go on through. It's going to be seen at SCV. Continue to scout back down the bottom side. You're going to see 2 more barracks on the way up from ByuN. Reactor about to finish on the racks, and a couple of extra Marines on the way in. It's going to rally out, and yeah, numbers are rising up right now. So go heavy on the ByuN as that's going to opt for the Twilight early. Not too surprising here. Now, what interests me the most from Zest is, are we going to see a Robo? Are we going to see that Dark Shrine? Are we going to see Full Gate Blink? It is going to be a Robo, so that's going to immediately suggest something more aggressive. That's going to say, right then, if you're going to go, you know, we're going to go into something here that's going to be, like I say, Dark Shrine or maybe Full Gate Blink. Those are the 2 real options when you go Twilight, then Robo before any of the gateways. So, waiting to see what it is. Extra gate starts up already. Has me believing then it's probably going to be that Dark Shrine. Here we go. It's a DT opener from Zest. Start us off in this series as our Adept shades through up from the natural in toward the main base. Depot going to raise over on the side. Just going to block that off. And yeah, Dark Shrine of Zest on the way up in this main base. Again, that going again. Couple gateways at the front. The Robo facility finishing. Of that coming through right now as our Simpack sets up from ByuN. There's a couple of depots just going to be completing in the next few moments. We've got ourselves our Stem and Combat Shield still coming in as well. Fort Prism is Corona boosting on out. Now, obviously, ByuN's opening here doesn't give him a Raven or the option to go into a Raven. So you can't get the Raven on the map as your detection against these DTs. So you've got to be reliant on scans and / all missile turrets. Obviously, right now, no chance to go missile turrets. You don't have E-base. So it's going to be a very scan-dependent game from ByuN. The good news is he's going to have units everywhere, so that's the advantage, right? Because you've got more bio units, you at least have a good split. So wherever the DT is, as long as you have a scan, it should go down. So ByuN's going to send a few Marines out. And he's... Oh! That's a cute little play. He dodges the Adept shade to try and hide what's actually moving on the map here. Whoa-oh! Whoa-oh! ByuN's going to see the War Prism! ByuN's going to go for the Prism! Oh, the DTs! Oh, 2 of them warp in! He scans them! He's going to get them! Oh, massive catch from ByuN. Kills the Prism, kills 2 DTs. They get stranded. Oh, Zest would have rather the DTs got cancelled, right? I mean, better to obviously just have 2 DTs cancelled and not do anything than 2 DTs warp in and be stranded and immediately scanned for a couple of bio units. What a catch from ByuN. That's an incredible way to start this first game of the series. DT comes in, Marauder in the front, in some trouble now. A couple of swipes going down. Dark Templar gets denied, and we're going to move on up in towards this main. These TTs are out of range of a scan. And obviously maybe no scan left, as there's only a couple of orbitals to scan with, but he's just going to go diving for probes anyway. ByuN don't care about the DTs no more. He's all about those probe kills, and he's continuing to hunt them down, chasing through the ramp. 13, 14 workers killed. Beautiful play out of ByuN. I mean, it was just the right decision, right, I think, to dive on through there. You know you're going to give up that army, but you know Zest is behind on army anyway because of the DT and Warp Prism losses and investment. So you can give up your army to get through and kill off some probes, and now by killing 14 workers, your army position's only ever going to improve from here compared to what Zest is at. So even more Marines moving across. He saw the probes running maybe. Did he actually see the third base? He did not. He's just going to assume this one's here, so he's just going to run up to this top side, go stim in, and probably won't kill the third base, obviously, but it's a few more probes he can get for free. That's going to force Zest to bring this Prism back home as well, so 2, 3 probes going down. Oh, he stims there, and he's actually going to come around, wants to go for the sentry, which gets saved. Nice pickups from Zest. Doesn't lose a single unit there when it looked as though he should have lost a couple, so Prism turning back actually works out very well for him. Does mean the Archon drop isn't across the map though, right, which is problematic. Obviously, you're meant to use this Archon drop as a way to deal further damage, to put a bit more pressure on. Instead, now, ByuN's still just doing whatever he wants back at home. Doesn't really have to worry about that. Doesn't have to worry about defending it as much. Zest is going to bring these units across the map once again, but, well, this game so far, all about that ByuN magic, as we do see Zest bringing the Prism into the main base right here. A couple of Marines show up, and the Archon and the Immortal come through, able to pick off a Marine, a Marauder taking a little chunk of damage. I mean, ByuN's across the map again. This time there'll be no Prism and no Archon or Immortal to help defend this, so what is that? A few sentries and stalkers. I'm not sure that's going to be enough. The good news for Zest is that ByuN's already stimmed this army once, so it's slightly lower on HP. Well, the force field is actually pretty darn good. They let a couple units get by. It's probably the best force field you could have asked for. Maybe this one could have gone down a moment sooner. You might have been able to save a little more. As ByuN just continues to throw ByuN units at Zest, hoping he just falls over and dies at some point soon. And, I mean, he should at some stage. Hey, what happened to the Warp Prism? Oh, okay, recalled out. I was going to say, it didn't die, right? There's surely no way Zest let the Warp Prism die during all of this. I know he had to come back home in micro, but Zest is good enough to know that he's got to keep that Prism alive as well, so maybe part of the reason that fourth force field wasn't quite on time also, right? Oh, but the bio coming in, and we just see the Stalker's going to start blinking back as ByuN shows up with another army. Army supply heavily in his favor. He might struggle a little bit just for the stacked defenses that are here, right? So, may not be worth him trying to push the issue until he gets a little bit more splash damage. That said, his splash damage is currently flying into the natural expansion of his opponent. So, he's choosing to put his splash damage in the form of harassment rather than on the map and fighting. Widow Mines Burrow up. 1 and 2 probes go down. Over on this top side, a Marauder falls. A Medevac falls already. ByuN, a couple of units still moving out over the left-hand side. Prism of Zest going to move out down to the south. See ByuN bringing everything back up the left-hand side once again. He had charges on the way up. Let's do attack is on the way up on the Forge. I mean, Zest is currently about to be supply blocked as well, though. 100 out of 101, so every little thing is just not really going Zest's way. Here come these Widow Mines. Some damage, the blink with the cannon. Wow, he gets them both. That's an incredible, I mean, Zest, ballsy play, because that was, I thought the pros were going to die. I thought he was too late to defend it, but Zest believed, man. He believed he was going to be fine there, and he actually is. Well, I mean, you got to take risks, I guess, to get back into a game like this. I would have absolutely decided the game by taking the risk and it working out. Well, I mean, it's not the biggest of saves, right? Because, you know, you don't lose any probes, but you don't lose any mine time is what you really achieve by not pulling those units away. So, yeah, a few seconds mine time save, not going to turn the game around as ByuN comes knocking on the front door once again. Marauder's going to walk into an Immortal. Well, I guess the Immortal walks into the Marauders. Not really going to make much of a difference. Even with bonus damage against those Marauders, the Immortal will not stand up for itself. And ByuN is going to win game 1 of this best of 3 here against Zest. Good little setup. Game number 2, to actually finish off the bracket in preparation for the final day tomorrow. Up 1-0, and our Red Terran player catching a lucky break, I'd say, a little bit, with catching that Prism where it was. That really set him up for success in the entirety of that game. Let's see what he can bring us in a game where maybe you don't get that lucky break this time around. It's ByuN in the bottom right corner of the map from the Shopify Rebellion, taking on Dragon Phoenix Gaming Zest. Blue Protoss up the left-hand side. So I say, ByuN Zest might end up on YouTube, so if this does go on YouTube and you're watching this on YouTube, do consider hitting that subscribe button so you see when we upload again in the future. And don't forget, you can hit the like button as well, help us out a little bit, and help get the video spread around to other people that might want to watch some epic Zest versus ByuN action. And just another mention, I want to make sure as many people know about this as possible, but Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Shopify Rebellion, two of the teams. These are two of the players you can expect to see taking part in the World Team League starting this coming Friday, the 26th of March. Please go check it out, guys. It'll be right here on my channel. It's going to be awesome. We need to spread the word. We need people to know. I don't want to see people complaining that there's no high-level team leagues anymore, because people were doing this while the Gold Series Team Championship had been a thing for like 3 or 4 seasons. This ends now. Like, this team league is the bomb. It's every player, every team you'd want to see in it. Like, it's got a great prize pool. We need to let people know. We need to make sure people don't miss out on the team league that they want to watch, that they just don't know about, okay? So make sure you check that out from Friday onwards, next week, 26th of March. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the next the next 11 weeks. How awesome is that? Probe up through the middle. Now, it's like early game TvP. It's going to go a bit differently this time around. ByuN's going to opt for that factory, so he is going to change it up from the 3 racks opening that we saw in the last game. CV back down the bottom. Stargate building in the main base here. Nexus on the natural. So that's obviously switching up a lot this game too with that Stargate instead of the Twilight Council. Especially last game, I mean the Dark Shrine build, the DT build is not a bad build, but you just can't lose the Prism and the DT. You know, usually we're like, oh, the DTs go down, that's such a shame. If the Prisms, you know, say is one of the 3 DTs, and the DTs kill a few workers, never mind. All 3 DTs go, I think 1 DT cancel, 2 DTs finish and die, and the Prism dies. Like, especially because the Prism is then just not on the map to keep the Terran at home while you build up other units to survive. And we saw why that was a problem, right? ByuN was able to march across the map. He was able to just trade out units for a ridiculous amount of economy and do very well there. So this time I'm going to play that Stargate. And it's going to be an Oracle to begin with here as well. So not even going to go into the Phoenix right off the bat. So I'd say the Phoenix are probably the most common way of playing a Stargate opener in PvT nowadays. Just going to be seeing the single Oracle making its way to the bottom. And it's going to make its way into the main to try and get a little bit of harassment done. SCVs are kind of barren of defense if the Oracle gets past the Widow Mines, which are unburrowed, so it's going to kill a Widow Mine. He sees where the second Widow Mine goes to, so Zest is pretty aware of the defense available for ByuN right now. He doesn't really get much work and damage done. In fact, he doesn't get any work and damage done yet. He's in the main base and has some energy left. And we'll get 2 SCVs here, make that 3, and that should be the end of this attack as finally ByuN is able to turn Zest away, but mostly because the Oracle was just running out of energy. Okay, nice from Zest. I mean, a Widow Mine plus the 3 worker kills is really good. Anything you can do with this Oracle puts you into a nice little spot. Obviously, removing a Widow Mine removes the potential of a Widow Mine drop as well a little bit, so less to worry about there. Yeah, wins all around from Zest, who just takes a 3rd Nexus, is now going into the Phoenix. I imagine the follow-up to these Phoenix will probably be a Robo, and into a Robo Bay. Alternative choices from that? Twilight Council in charge, I guess. What's he going to? He's going to 4 gas with the 3 bases up, so it should just be a Robo. If you're going to stick on 3 gas, you could maybe see a Twilight Council and you play like Charge Stalker or something, but again, you've got Phoenix, so it's not really typical to stay on 3 gas anyway, which is, again, typically why we are going to see a Twilight and a Forge. I'll take it back then. Yeah, maybe 4 gas just because you're still going to be producing Phoenix here. So the idea should be to go charge though, right? Because you want to go, you've got the Phoenix to kind of control the map and to be a bit of drop defense. You don't need Blink right away. What you do need is something that can actually stand itself, stand its ground against like a tank push or so. And that would be charge. So you get the charge lots up, the Phoenix can help to clean up, the charge lots, the Phoenix help to kind of take tanks out of the fight. The charge lots clean up, and that's generally your goal for the mid game now to survive into another later stage where you do get up to Blink, where you do get up to that full army. Go on, Zest, build Blink and just call me a complete idiot. I dare you. I'm just getting an SCV down here. Nice little revelation. There is the charge, so... yeah, that was the other option. I did kind of believe with the full gas, you can kind of just go Robo, but... yeah, if you keep on building Phoenix, I guess full gas makes sense. He's still stacking quite a lot of gas, though, right? I feel like for what he's actually done here, he didn't necessarily need all this. Starts to Temple Archives now, so I guess that's where the gas is just going to go in the end. It's going to start getting a few Archons into the composition, too. Sense overall. As you see our Phoenix joining back up into the center. Mine burrows up on that ramp. We do see the cannon on the way at the front as well of that third. So just getting this ready to go. Another Phoenix on the way out, and yeah, Phoenix and an Oracle in the main base continue to move around. Going to lift up a few of these SCVs. So a couple of workers already dropping down right now. A bio army of ByuN out the front is just going to rally through, and this is actually quite a lot of bio. I mean, as the upgrades finish up, this is definitely a little scary. Definitely something you need to respect a little bit. Bio just going to move up through the middle of the map. We do have those couple of extra high Templar finishing, another Zealot coming through. Lots of shells on the way here from ByuN right now as well. So just getting all of this up and running as we've got our bio forces up through the top right now. Phoenix off over on the left-hand side. Widowmine's going to start burrowing, and we do see the army starting to charge into this. I mean, the Archons are the real damage dealers of this. The Zealots kind of buy those Archons time. Nice to get rid of the Widow Mines without taking any splash damage, right? You didn't really have to use much of this battery energy. And ByuN's going to try and move on through. This is very aggressive from ByuN. No third CC behind it still. What's this moving across? He is actually pulling the SCVs against this, so he's really looking for the win right here and right now. So ByuN really wants to try and break Zest down. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. Army Supply is still a slight lead. The Phoenix energy is kind of low, I guess. There's not a lot the Phoenix can lift up. They do find the Widow Mines again. Here come the SCVs. Man, I will stand by this battery. It's still got a super battery. Oh, no super battery available right now. Well, apparently you just don't even need a battery. He just comes forward and fights this anyway. The SCVs just melt under Archon fire, and these two Archons have put in work in this game. They've put in so much splash, 15 kills between the two of them. And now Zest just backs away. Of course, ByuN is the one that needs to attack into fight, so just fall back, sit a bit defensively, get warpins going. And ByuN right now is not broken as Zest that he needed to break with this attack, so... looking like maybe a game 3 with the Bioforce is going to go one more time. Let's see if ByuN can pull off some micro magic. Honestly, there's only so much micro magic you can do, though. And against 4 Archons, like I say, you can kite for days upon days. ByuN's going to type GG. You can kite for days upon days, but if you're going to kite for days upon days, Zest isn't going to chase you for that long. He's just going to keep turning back to more reinforcements. His army's going to get ever larger. Maybe ByuN could have tried to lift up and go into the main, but of course there's Phoenix. So anytime you do that, you're fully committed with the army. You should never really get out alive because the Phoenix are going to be able to hunt down the medevacs. So, yeah, a little tough. A little tough. GG's. And that's going to be Zest taking it, tying it up 1-1 in the series. Top of the day. It's been a day as well. 6 hours has been. I didn't expect this to be a 6-hour stream in the slightest, especially considering we actually lost out on the series as well. We actually just had some pretty sick games today, didn't we? It's just been a fun day of Starcraft. Top left-hand side, we do have our Red Terran player. Give it up! Cheering on ByuN to make it to the winner bracket finals. Of course, this is winner bracket, so if you lose here, you at least have one more chance in the lower bracket still. Bottom right, our Blue Protoss player is Zest from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. And just as we get going, Rag NK80 on the Prime sub. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Welcome back. Good to have you as we get this set up to go. I'm going to start with a gateway in the main base. Getting that ready. Going to see a racks on the main as well. Getting this all set up. So building up here, getting this ready to go. Probes coming through and just getting ourselves into a nice peaceful game 3. No proxies or anything just yet, anything like that. To be fair, this series has been pretty free from proxies and stuff like that. Just reminiscing our previous TvP that we casted with Proxy 2 racks. Yeah, what to expect on Lightshade in particular. Honestly, I feel like Zest probably does something different again. It's not a bad map for 4-gate Blink. It's pretty predictable where you're going to hop up, though, so it does make defending it a little bit easier. But it is a possibility. You could obviously go for Blink Stalker opening without committing all the way to 4 gateways and being hyper-aggressive like that, too. That's also an option on the table. The probe pulls back around the natural into the mineral line, and it's going to be seen our Nexus continuing through. The Reaper of ByuN is going to go through the middle of the map out down to the bottom right. That pops out, going to shade forward. The Reaper going to get chased away. A little shot goes off. We do see concussive shells on the way through. Marauders producing, and of course, there's going to be a bit of a different opening from ByuN. He's going to sit these Marauders out the... Okay, he's going to put it to the side. I can't remember who it was the other day, but somebody opened Marauders and just sat it like right here. And the Adept just walked up to him and was like, oh, a Marauder. And just like turned around and left because concussive shells wasn't done. The idea is if you hide this Marauder over to the side, the Adept will go up the ramp, not see the Marauder, then you flank in, and the Adept gets slowed by the concussive shells, of course. Concussive shells now being done, the Adept didn't move across the map early. Zest kept it at home defensively. He is going to catch this Adept. He needs to get the other Marauder onto it ASAP, though, because the Shade's going to come in pretty quickly now. Are you going to get that kill in time? I don't think you are. You're through the shields. The Shade was good. The second Marauder wasn't with the first one. So you are going to keep that Adept alive as Zest. And the information that there's Marauders coming generally means you're going to go into a little shield battery here. Now, Zest goes for the completely different way of setting up in this game. There's going to be a fast robo and a fast robo bay. And if I know anything about Zest, this is going to be the infamous nobody else does this Zest Colossus drop. I mean, I think I saw Trap do this one time, but this is not a go-to build. This is not your common, you know, oh yeah, I've got this one just tucked away for, you know, any old series. This is one that, you know, you bring out on a bit of a rarer occasion. And apparently for Zest, this rarer occasion is just Game 3 of this winner bracket semi-final. If anybody does this more frequently, it probably is Zest. I mean, you can even play Colossus when you go for like a Blink opener into... Oh, it's a Disruptor, wow. You can even play like Colossus into... It's not a Disruptor, it's a Colossus. You can even play Colossus when you go like Blink opener, then you just take 2 more gases and you take Colossus behind it before you go third base. But this obviously completely bypasses Blink. You put some extra gas into the Gravitic Drive, and the entire intention is to actually not just use this Colossus as a defensive unit, but to actually go across the map and to put some damage on with this Colossus drop. So our Colossus is going to be finished up here in just a few moments. Going to have our stim about to be done as we look back on ByuN's side of the map. What's he been up to? Well, he's actually playing a 2-1-1. Which, I guess the Colossus drop gets interesting, because obviously you got a nice fast stim to help chase down the Prism. But then you've got a Colossus that's going to laser down Marines, and with good micro, should be able to win any fight there. Medevacs don't lift and go across the map just yet. What is ByuN up to? He's waiting for... Is he waiting for extra Marines? Not sure. He doesn't have 2 full Medevacs yet. What's he actually seen in the game? Oh, my game keeps lagging, by the way, when I press the vision button. I don't know what that's about. Sorry, guys, if you see it and hang up. Oh, he's actually going to send 2 empty Medevacs forward. Well, that's going to be figured out quickly as the Marines show up. Yeah, I mean, the Colossus, in theory, can deal with this very well. It's just Marines that obviously don't have any other support, really. So, yeah, you get a few SCVs. So Marino 2 takes some damage. Colossus comes back, and ByuN's going to have to figure out what he wants to do. He's going to lose more SCVs. It looks like he's going to send Medevacs across the map right now. Prism comes into the main base. Other Marines continue to chase it down. Marauders still hunting down the Colossus. Colossus continue to lift up. Drop down again. 5 SCVs going down. And that Prism is up on the top side. Moving around the top as well. Bliss on attack and combat shield still on the way through. I'm just going to be seeing the... well, Marines dropping into the main base. Going to look for some damage here as well. Battery going to take a few shots right now. It's going to go down, so that will fall. And now going to stim up and find a few more of these Stalkers out the front as well. So a couple extra Stalkers going down. That Robo Bay might be in a little bit of trouble. And Vex is going to get these Marines to lift off. Back away from this. Yeah, ByuN going to escape through the bottom side of the map now. Prism comes through the south and is going to continue toward the main base. Thinking about just going back in. Is it going to patrol? I didn't see the patrol there. I was like, is he clicking it back and forth? I didn't see the blue patrol, however. It was just hidden in the bushes. No, Zest! What an error! I never meant to lose the freaking Colossus of all things, of course. Jeez. That ain't good. +1 attack finishes on the engineering bay. I'm just going to be seeing the Prism moving back towards the main. Extra Stalkers warping in. Going to go out the right-hand side. And Zest is going to come with a new Colossus. Just pretend it never happened, right? If your first Colossus dies, pretend like it never happened. Come with the second one. Boom, already getting Marine kills. Gonna need a few of those to make up for losing the Colossus. Obviously, anytime you lose a major tech unit as a Protoss, it's not a good time because it takes away a lot of what you're able to do and what you play for in the later stages of the game. Right now, any sort of tech switch is delayed by a whole extra Colossus of production. Especially when your tech switches off and when you're playing Colossus to go into Disruptors, because not only is it the gas you're missing, building an extra Colossus, it's the robo build time of the Colossus. He's actually going to build an Immortal now after 2 Colossi are on the map. Big drop in the main base going to come through, and that's just going to be ByuN looking for a lot of probes. He gets rid of the Forge upgrade. Might even be able to get rid of the charge here as well. Twilight Council in some heavy trouble. Robo Facility, no, was it a Colossus? It's a Colossus taking damage. But he's already done enough here, man. Without any sort of actual mobility upgrade like Blink and Charge, well, Zest is just going to get torn apart here. I mean, again, already not having Blink is problematic, and that's the weakness of this Colossus drop build. Sorry, I said those 2 Colossi, there's 3 Colossi still on the map. This is the problem with the Colossus drop build. If the Colossus doesn't do enough, then you actually get into a really tough position, and ByuN's just saying, you know what, drop me, and I'm going to send my Marines across the map for that initial drop that he made. I feel like that was already a pretty masterful play, because it really negates the power of the Colossus, which is to keep the Terran player at home. So if the Terran player won't stay at home, if he's on the map and dealing damage, well, that's a problem for Zest. Obviously, this is a fairly unique build that has an early stim that can that can actually do this compared to a lot of the other builds you would usually see. Fire coming in, Colossus gets chased back. Just going to be seeing the Vikings continue to hunt that Prism down. Dark Shrine coming up in the back of this main. Couple extra Disruptors on the way out. All of this rallying through as we do see 1-1 upgrades on the way in as well. Joining together right now as that Prism comes out to the left-hand side of this. I mean, Zest needs some damage. He needs to put himself into a better position. He's got Disruptors on the way. You know, his actual army composition, where the army's going, is fine. It's just he's way behind where he should be on supply. ByuN with this tank army moving across a few Vikings. With the upgrade lead, right? So his army's good apart from the upgrades that's missing as well, right? The fact there's no charge and there's no blink is obviously really unacceptable for this stage of the game. So not only is he behind where he wants to be on supply, he's behind where he wants to be on upgrades. And that also leads into the 1-1 as well. It's a pretty big problem. Vikings coming through, Disruptor shot fires, Bio splits away. Couple tanks are going to siege up, and you see Azal's just going to warp in on that far left-hand side, looking for a little bit of a push up this ramp. ByuN, he's got the Vikings to try and hold the position. Disruptor shot flies is going to land just on a single siege tank. Another Disruptor shot. Okay, tank survives that one. Another Disruptor shot! This one does connect, so tank goes down. Zald's across the map going to run into Bio. There's a lot of Disruptors here, to be fair. ByuN's got to play this fairly slowly, but again, he's on his way to 2-2, so he'll maintain an upgrade lead. Oh, he's going to go for a dive! Yeah, doesn't find the disruptor there, but he doesn't get punished for it either, so all good. So Zell's got cleaned up. Zest has already warped in more to try a second time. Yeah, I mean, like I say, once you hit 2-2, you've got an upgrade lead again. You better have enhanced shockwaves so you can bring EMPs into play a little bit more easily. And ByuN is building a fourth base that's, well, way further along than any sort of imaginary fourth that Zest has, right? Zest can't take a fourth base right now because ByuN is parked right outside his base. So yeah, ByuN can't go in and kill him. But what ByuN can do is sit here and deny Zest from taking the expansions he's meant to be having at this stage. So yeah, I'd say ByuN's doing the right things. Well played so far. He's just going to sit here, pick off that Cybercore. He's got an attack coming around the right side now, and that's going to mean Zest will have to send some units at least over in that direction. And ByuN's going to start amping up the pressure, loads up some units into Medivacs. Big drop, actually, I say some. 4 full Medivacs of units move up. They're going to make a play. Disruptors are still missing, just landing a bit short. It's a good time to make a play like this from ByuN, because now the army on the top side is going to go unnoticed, even though Zest has vision over there. ByuN's actually going to chase. He may have actually had a Colossus if he targeted the right one in that moment. Bio going to run in. That third base is in trouble. ByuN is just all over this army. Disruptors are doing what they can, but even if you clean this up, it's probably not going to be enough. Super Battery, I think, is just faded here, so now these Colossi should just go down as well. And my friends, ByuN's army still has units down on this low ground that can come together. Man, I actually really fancied Zest to win this. I said I was going to cheer on ByuN, but I really favored Zest in the series going into it. As DTs get scanned and cleaned up, Zest's last hope dies, and he falls out of the winner's bracket to the lower bracket now. Jeez. Yeah, I kind of had Zest on this one. Hell yeah for ByuN, huh? Hell yeah for our boy ByuN. Winning out game number 3, winning out the series. That means we have a ByuN Solus winner bracket finals. Means ByuN is guaranteed top 3 in the